Hello, my name is swissbianco. In this video I will talk about the Schrade M7 survival knife. As it is here in my hand, there are not much information online about it. Basically it was made by Imperial Schrade company in USA in about the 80s, and only for a short time. I actually remember back then in Switzerland see such advertising of that knife. As best as I remember, I can't remember that I ever saw a real one of it until now in USA, as I found this used example. So for whatever reason they did not make too many of those. Quite likely back in the 80s, as all the survival items did come up, they did wanna use a bit some of the M7 bayonet blades that they make. Here in my hand is a M7 bayonet, so you see the blade is pretty much the same that they already did. Just the serrations, it has kind of steak knife serrations on top of it, of the blade there. Those are different, and of course the sawback. We see the sawback that is different on the blade itself. Then the guard and the pommel, the hammer pommel, they are completely new made, as well as the grip. I did take off the grips of this one, and it's not the same grip as the M7 at all. We see that also inside it's a different made. What we also see, there is not near as much gap in between, so they did actually make a bit a more higher quality. As we look in between here, by the way, this is not an Imperial Schrade M7, it's just a US military version. We see the gap here and the gap on the pommel as well. We don't have that by the survival knife. So for civilian market, they did upgrade a bit in quality wise, and alter the blade. The tank stamp, on the tank stamp we see the Imperial and then made in USA M7S, quite likely for survival. And we see the Imperial stamp is already cut a little bit by the saw blade milling or cutting, quite likely milling what they did to the blade. And then we have the pommel, the guard here, relative rough, stamped out. On top is what would form a Phillips, and on the bottom is a flathead screwdriver. I did not test this knife. I look at it as a collectible. I did not test it out for screwdriver possibilities. Then we have a flat pommel that you can use for hammering, and you have a nail puller. Somehow they wanted to add a nail puller, and it actually, if we hold it, it helps secure the knife in the hand, upside or downside. Pretty good, especially with the sawing action, that you have a bit more secure handling. So it's pretty nice. The sheet that came with this knife, I don't know if that is original. There were different sheets on pictures, so I don't know if somebody made that. It looks like a cut off from a M7 sheet with the fiber material. So I don't know, that just came with it. It fits pretty well, but the The snap closure should be, of course, more down. Now it's about this height, so the knife can come out until it gets stopped by the closure. It should be more down. But that is how that is, and it's rather a rare knife, more a collectible. Of course, this one is not brand new, so it is less worth. But yeah, I'm gonna try it out a little bit, see how well it works. Not breaking it or damaging it, but yeah, see and learn next summer how well it goes. Because blades like this we could make out of M7 leftover blades as well, if we would do so, and it adds a feature more on the M7 bayonet if we would have a saw blade on the back. I just wonder how well it is. It's not free floating saw, you get still stuck. It has quite some way until it gets free floated by the actual edge grinding. So that much about the M7S from Imperial Schrade, a company that unfortunately did go down on its 100th birthday, and yeah, it's out of production, other than people that took the brand name and now let the knives made in China, not USA anymore. Pretty sad.